hit start. Hey, welcome to Behind the Thrones. This is season 8, episode 3, live reaction. Wow, boys. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this chronologically, in order like we usually do.
Chronological order.
We're gonna be jumping around here. Wow, boys.
Yeah, Dodger's got to go to his own throne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Goku, have at your little mini rant. Don't rant about the end, though. God damn it.
I'm not gonna rant about the end. I'm just gonna rant about the fucking episode because are you fucking kidding me? This is what you've been building up to the entire fucking time. This is what you fucking this is gonna be the greatest fucking cinematic event of all fucking time. The same way that fucking Avengers, the same way fucking Avengers Endgame was. This is gonna be the greatest fucking thing. Are you kidding me? This is get fucked. Go fuck yourself. This is probably the biggest fucking letdown I have ever fucking. At least Endgame was a gigantic love letter to the MCU. Yeah. This was garbage. This was fucking garbage. This was shit.
You know how I would have handled it? I would have had the main characters and the two surviving dragons have to fight a forced retreat, ending up with the final battle would have taken place at King's Landing.
Well, no, what the fuck was this? What the fuck was this? Are you kidding me? Like, you build up all of this, like, oh my god, they're creepy guys. The White Walkers are coming. It's the long night. Oh my god,
the White Walkers coming.
And then we get this. Like,
do you know what would be even better? It turns out that wasn't the Night King.
Fuck off. No, fuck off. That'd be an even bigger fuck off than fuck off that we got at the fucking end.
This was shit. Okay, yeah, it was fun to watch, don't get me wrong. Again, it feels like fucking Endgame all over again. It was fun to watch, but it was garbage as far as the story is concerned. Like, really, this is the way you guys are gonna end the big bad? Like,
no. Wait a minute, Doku. Garbage? No. What George would have done? Absolutely not. This is not what's gonna happen in the goddamn books. Don't even
you're fucking right. You're fucking right.
Tell me it's remotely how this is gonna happen. Arya jumps out like fucking Wolverine with a fucking.
She did jump out like Wolverine.
Yeah, just like.
She was just like, hey. You know what? Fuck this shit. She left, and like all of a sudden, she came out of nowhere.
I mean, let's face it. The Night King wouldn't have caught her like he did. He would have fucking swatted her.
Yeah, surprise, everybody!
Okay, do we want to at least try to go through this chronologically, or are we just gonna rant?
Yes, there was a lot of chasing down hallways and fire and death.
I think fucking
death chasing down hallways.
I think Ruin Johnson fucking wrote this one too, because fucking here comes Phasma out of fucking nowhere again. She died, but then she materializes somewhere else again.
Okay.
Dude, Joran, he went down like 5 times.
Obviously, emotions are high right now.
Yeah, I know.
Try to get us in line here, buddy.
Okay, mine are too. My emotions are very high, and I have tons of nitpicks. Like Doku, there's a few things where I stopped and legitimately screamed, "What the fuck?" at the television, right? But we have to let's tackle this semi in order. So,
I can't believe they did this much this week.
Oh yeah, this was a lot packed into one episode.
Things kind of rushed.
Yeah, because I mean, you have to understand they have 6 episodes this season, and it took them 3 episodes to kill the Night King. And the Night King was obviously a much greater foe than Cersei.
Yeah.
Didn't they learn from Buffy, though? You wait till the end to kill the big bad.
Yeah.
Hey, spoiler alert. Anyway,
and so can I just finish my fucking rant, because I
don't know, Doku. I think you're gonna have plenty of chances.
No, God damn it, you know what? Fuck you. I'm legitimately fucking pissed off. Like, I'm really fucking pissed.
But channel that anger into something constructive.
I've got something for you. the thing, the way they've left it at the moment, things are unbalanced. In fantasy, balance always has to be restored. But Bran is still alive. Bran is the opposite of the Night King, right?
You get that look with Bran looks at the Night King like, can we at least get like the Night King cutting Bran's head off or something? Like,
Yeah.
really? Oh God, so just. All right, you know what, you guys talk. You guys talk. I'm.
This is honestly the first fucking episode that I've ever seen.
I think we should get through this from the beginning of the episode the way you usually do, because I quite enjoy that, even though it is really difficult this time.
Well, I didn't see the beginning, so
Okay.
You know, this is honestly the first fucking episode I've ever seen, and I think I was correcting my assessment when it first fucking began. How many years ago? It was shit.
No, it's a good show.
It
Okay.
is.
40. Start us off at the beginning here, man.
Okay. I'm just gonna kick it off at the beginning of the battle, to be honest. So the cavalry charge, and you very clearly from the front lines see the cavalry like just absolutely get diminished to nothing, right? Like all like hundreds of people ride out, and then like 4 guys like come back running on foot. Like, why would you not continue firing your trebuchets and catapults?
Exactly.
Why?
I even fucking said that. Why aren't the trebuchets still fucking firing? But then again, the fucking horses all fucking went into
That's
the
what they had.
bloody bunch, and they all bunched up in their fucking guts, and that causes a choke point where they all got fucking slaughtered. Why didn't they spread out?
that's the thing. I would never have sent an attack force, infantry or cavalry, out against an army like that, because you can't fear that cause them fear. They don't feel pain, and there's so many of them. They can just basically swamp you.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I
it just
mean,
seemed
the
like
very-
they were gonna just burn through the Dothraki, and they knew they were going to die no matter what happened right at the beginning.
I mean,
Well, no, no. Damn it, I'm gonna talk now.
They should have saved them.
Here's the thing, though. When I saw that happen, you know, and Melisandre does the spell, which was badass. Let's talk about that. That was cool. The fucking swords light on fire and like the wave, you know, when you're at like a baseball stadium. That was badass. I enjoyed that. But they sent them head on into it, not at the flanks or nothing. Head on. And we were in Discord, and I literally hit the talk button, and I'm like, dude, Pickett's charge.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
that's what
and
it is. It's Pickett's
Mad Dodge,
charge.
wouldn't you think that if you have an entire cavalry charge with magical fire on the swords and they just run into the flanks of the dead, you know, we're only talking about whites here. Wouldn't they just start lighting on fire like we've seen that happen before? If,
don't you mean?
Wouldn't they just light up like a freaking candlestick?
Yeah.
What the hell's up with that?
Doku, don't you mean for whites?
Well,
When
apparently none.
when Discount Red Witch fucking or Scarlet Witch fucking set all those fucking swords on fire, I was expecting the little bling sort of sound and the fucking little banner coming up saying "Player level up" over everyone as they
I
fucking lit up.
still want to know why Sansa Stark is still alive.
Okay, let's keep this on track. Let's keep this on track. Does anyone else have any gripes about the big charge?
Yeah,
I just don't think it was
why
a
are
good,
you charging?
strategy.
Can I ask a question?
Actually,
Well,
Yeah,
real
I have
quick,
a-
real quick, though. Real quick.
Can I-
Why are you
can I-
charging the dead? Why? You don't.
We've already
you don't
covered
do that.
this.
And
Well-
the chat is popping off saying, you know, why weren't the catapults on the battlements? Yeah, god damn it. Why weren't they on the fucking battlements?
Was
What the
too big
fuck
to
is
put
going
on battlements?
well, and that's a gripe I have. You already have the trenches that you know you can light on fire. You have the trebuchets. You have the catapults. Why are you gonna have your cavalry just charge them straight
That's
on?
What I want to ask.
Like-
Whose idea was that? I didn't see the start of it, so I don't know whose idea that was.
Wouldn't you use the cavalry as a flanking maneuver? Why wouldn't you just use the catapults and the trebuchets to just light them up? I mean, at
Like I
least
said-
then you know where your the enemy actually is. There's so
like-
much more you
like
could have
I
done.
asked. Like us, who had the bright idea to send out the cavalry?
It makes
I don't
no
know.
sense. That's not how you use cavalry.
Yeah, but
especially
who-
not in an
who
open field battle.
Fucking hell! Another one that thinks it's a bloody hospital.
Who had the idea to send out the cavalry?
That's a damn
Probably
good question.
I
I
bet
bet
it's-
you it's Danny. She loves Dothraki.
Yeah, it
But
was either Danny or fucking Sansa. The two people least mentally equipped to lead in war.
Well, Danny just got all of her Dothraki killed.
Yeah,
Good job, Danny.
and
who-
all of her Unsullied as well. From the look of
okay,
it.
who other than me was shocked when Melisandre actually showed up? Because my bet was she was not going to show up this episode.
Yeah,
It would have
thought
been
she
the
was
neck,
next
which I thought would have been in the neck fighting the White Walkers again. But Jesse, we've cut you off a few times, and I just did there. Go ahead, man.
No, I thought she was going to show up in the next episode, and yeah, the whole charge was just stupid, man. I don't understand why they just sent them all out to die like that.
Terrible military tactics. Like, you guys already have defensive positions. Keep your cavalry to the side. Let them rush you. Light the fucking trenches up, and then flank them. That's what you should have done.
The only way to defeat an enemy like that, besides taking out the leader, is they're going to come at you with a giant mass of people, right?
It
So
was
you
very
have to
Last
kill-
Jedi, wasn't it?
Yeah, you have to kill as many of them as you can.
Hmm.
And then they're going to kill a lot of you. Then they're going to raise the dead that you got. So you're going to have to be like killing 200 to one man constantly. It just doesn't work.
And then
Well-
use Melisandre to light the swords on fire and just start burning them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the instant those fucking swords went out, they should have piled the artillery back on.
Right, there's the thing. That's not ordinary fire, correct?
Well, no, and why are the
Couldn't
White
she-
Walkers?
well,
Wait,
well-
real quick, Batman. I'll ask you this because I'm cutting you off here.
Sick.
Why are the White Walkers like John Carpenter's vampires, where you kill the head walker and they all die? Aren't they?
It's because each White Walker raises X amount of whites. They're only animated because of his power. Once he's dead, his power's gone. The power animating the whites is gone.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, and
Avengers.
that's something we've talked about, where it's like the Night King is like the head of the pyramid.
Yeah.
The White Walkers are right beneath him, and then the White Walkers can raise their own little contingencies of whites. So yeah, that technically does make sense, but still, it's stupid with the way that they conducted this battle. It just
Like I was going to
It's
ask,
dumb.
Melisandre's fire that she imbues on swords, that's not normal fire, correct?
no, it's not. It's technically magic fire. It's
Right.
the
Now-
same
now
as
on-
Barrett
now on to my next
Dondarrion's
question.
fire.
Something I would have explored if I was in that position. Could she actually do that with the fucking pit they dug around the fucking castle?
She did.
Well,
Yeah.
and see, that's the other annoying part is we've seen, and we saw this in this episode. I'm not going to go into spoilers, but not yet, anyways. But we've seen the White Walkers be able to walk through dragon fire. So clearly, like, there is that kind of fire that can destroy the whites or the White Walkers. So, but they just get snuffed out like that. So you would have to assume that at least the White Walkers, like the White Walkers are at least close enough to the cavalry charge where that fire just gets snuffed out and
Yeah.
it can't do anything. But they don't go into any real detail, so they don't explain it to you. So you're just kind of left to infer, like,
I mean,
yeah, maybe they're screwed.
What they should have been doing is trebuchet and catapults filled with fucking chains. Best way to decimate an infantry army. That.
Yeah.
Well, no. Here's my question. 40 ounce. Okay, so they obviously had the plan to where they would fall back and light the trenches with the dragon, right?
Yeah.
That was obvious. Okay, why are the trebuchets set up outside said trench?
Well, that was another one of my problems. The trench
was
would have been an initial deterrent for any like infantry advancing, but the problem, I mean, even then, something like a small detail like that isn't what pissed me off, right? Putting the infantry behind the trench, but what pissed me off is the fact that the dragons fought in the sky for a little bit while this battle was going on, before the trenches were supposed to be lit. Jon Snow then lands on the wall of the castle, right?
And does fuck all.
And he does
he
fuck
does
all for
nothing
5
for a
minutes.
long time.
And these people are outside the gate. They're trying to light the trenches. they're waving the signal. Why is it that he doesn't see the signal? Why is it that, it takes the fucking magic man, or sorry, the magic woman, to go forth and light the fucking trench with her half-assed magic that doesn't work when she wants it to,
Well, because apparently they can't see the signal because now the White Walkers and the Night King apparently the winter is here and they can't see it.
He was on the fucking wall. Surely some cunt on the wall should have looked up at him and said, "Are you going to do something about that?" Like, furthermore, why are you fucking sitting up here pulling your fucking pud when you could be out there fucking laying down some close air support like you should be, you fucking lazy cunt. Go!
Well,
I've got
I'm not saying
brooding.
it's an excuse. Yeah, I'm not saying it's an excuse, but apparently that's just like, oh no, we need to fly above the clouds, and hey, look, guys, pretty scene.
This is when he was sitting on the wall, though. He wasn't up
Well,
in the
no,
clouds.
I
Yeah,
almost
he should
wanted
have been lighting up the field.
I almost want to do a video, you guys, about how many times Grey Worm dies in this episode, because before they even back off in behind a trench and start the retreat, right? I swear Grey Worm died twice in the fucking opening.
And if you notice, each time he died, there was these two circles of light going over him. Yeah, because he's Captain Scarlet.
Yeah.
Well, am I the only one that saw Grey Worm die like 3 times?
Well, I'm mentioned it at least twice.
No,
I
well,
thought he died at least 5 times.
yeah, but Ed definitely died. Ed fucking rip Ed. So, poor guy.
Well, maybe he
Yeah.
only died once.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Ed
Dodge,
should be on the Iron Throne.
real quick. Maybe Grey Worm only died once. We just saw it from multiple different points of view.
Well, no, and we're not there yet, but the handmaiden or whatever, Danny's helper, she's salty in this episode. Yeah, well, if the dragon
In this
queen
episode,
wasn't here, if the dragon queen wasn't here, you'd all be dead.
Like,
Well, fuck you too, bitch.
hold on, Dodge. What do you mean in this episode? She's always sulky. And Plankton Breath has come up with a good one. You can chop up worms a lot, and they'll still wiggle.
And she's not always salty. She's sometimes yeasty.
I said sulky.
Okay.
Learn to speak
right,
proper
so-
England.
So 40, since you're the only one that could really keep yourself under control here, and that includes me, like I'm out there. So what's the next thing that happens? Walk us through this, buddy.
Yeah, so they have trouble apparently setting a match to the fucking goddamn trench, which really pissed me off. So everyone eventually starts getting inside. I called it watching it with my girlfriend, by the way. The zombies World War Z'd their way up the sides of the fucking wall.
Quick second there, 40.
Yeah.
They have 2 fucking dragons. How have they got difficulty lighting a fucking trench?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
they didn't
we're
blast
well past
the wall
that.
either. They should have
What
put
I-
up the wall when they were coming in.
What I don't get is, like, once they're at the wall, like, everyone's at their parapets and shit like that. How hard is it to play a game of fucking whack-a-mole?
Yeah,
Jesus
I know. They
Christ.
kind of flooded the wall rather quickly, don't you think?
Yeah, it's sort of like one guy just went, "Oh, hang on, I'll have a breather while this fucker gets."
Yeah.
Well, no, and let's talk about the
Just
moment
fucking
when
fuck me.
let's talk about Jesse. What do you think when the whites came up and they started laying in the pit, right? And they made the path. That was pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I thought that
They
was what they would do without the warg command from the Night King. I thought they would
Like-
just flood it like ants immediately and just cover the whole thing.
Right, Jesse,
Right.
you pulled up a good point. They had the dragons. Why didn't they prepare by glassing the walls of fucking Winterfell?
Yeah, I don't understand why they didn't do more with fire, pour oil around on the field or do some Braveheart shit,
Right now, Dodge. I did say, remember that scene when they were piling on to make the gaps and shit. Yeah, remind me when we do the sometime in the next future when we do the World War I streams, because that is actually a pertinent tactic that was used.
I will, yeah, because I remember you saying that.
Actually, yeah,
what
that
do you
does-
think about that?
does
That was
real
interesting, right?
quick, Mad Dodge. That does beg to question: why didn't you guys just retreat back into the walls of Winterfell and maybe use some like burning pitch or something and just basically light the walls on fire?
Maybe,
That's
Yeah,
what I
when they
was
were
thinking
coming up
too.
the walls, I totally thought they were going to douse them with oil or something and light them up from above. like some kind
Seems
of.
like that might have would have worked.
Yeah, this is just a hypothesis, but maybe the White Walkers have some kind of stupidity power as well.
Oh, I know why they didn't do it, because, like I keep saying, Ryan Johnson did the battle tactics in this, and they didn't have the fuel to
God.
make the light speed jump. I mean, to drop over the wall.
No, Ryan Johnson made good battle tactics. It was the two female commanders who kept ignoring his advice. Oh, wait, that's Game of Thrones as well, isn't it?
That requires too much historical research, guys. I'm sorry. We can't light the walls of Winterfell on fire. We don't have the budget for it. It's okay.
I'm surprised the dragons didn't fucking fly at fucking the speed of tectonic drift.
Jesus.
Christ almighty.
Yeah, Kieran McCleish is saying this ain't freaking Home Alone mistakes were made, but yes, these are mistakes that people who've been in war and directed battles should not have made.
Well, and that's the thing. You can clearly tell that the direction of this episode. You haven't even played you haven't played Command and Conquer. You haven't played any RTS game at all. No one in their right mind would have set up their forces in this way, going against the kind of enemy that you're going against.
No,
it
just
doesn't make sense.
It felt like a plot device to throw away the Dothraki and most of the Unsullied.
Yeah.
Well, what I did like is the Unsullied, the way protect the retreat. That was the second or third time I thought Grey Worm was going to die.
Yeah.
And there's like boom, like the fucking Spartan phalanx, like bam, and I really liked that. That was good. What do you think about the slow build up with the silence, no music through most of the episode? What do you guys think about that?
Boring as that
Waste-
shit.
Waste
Actually,
of time.
I
Complete
don't know.
waste of time.
That's good for dramatic effect, really.
No, I thought it was a complete waste of time. It should have started off right from the get-go with the undead rushing. This is just me.
That
It's
silence
not-
when they were going around different people, like guys up on the parapets and shit like that. At least one of them should have turned to another one and said, "Did you see the Dodgers game, man?" Something like that.
Jesus. But no, it should have been like you see the undead. Do you see the undead rushing the lines of the Unsullied, and then pull like a like the Battle of Blackwater, and just have an arrow go into the trenches and just light it up and watch the undead just fall right into it.
Mhm.
Keep your cavalry to the back, let them flank. Have Melisandre come in and light their swords on fire and be like, all right, come in, flank, do everything. The way they did it was just so stupid.
Yeah, I thought that was extremely arrogant that they have all these trenches full of heavy timber out in the snow, and they didn't cover it with any sort of accelerant. So when those arrows hit it, it did jack and shit. They were relying on that one clean dragon shot to light up that whole shit.
Yeah.
I mean, give me a break. You'd have to give a
Can I ask
perfect
a
shot
question
going
about
all the way around.
Can I ask a question about the dragons? In combat, wouldn't the dragons be better served to not have riders?
No, actually,
I'm asking this
with
because
the rider,
I'm asking
because
this because of a specific thing. The only two people who can ride the dragons are the most important couple in that fucking entire fucking castle. The ones that you don't want to die.
they're the only ones that can. No, I don't think you get the whole dragon rider thing from George's.
That's why I'm asking.
How he wrote it. Because you point the dragon and shoot pretty much. You notice she gives a command when she fires at the Night King, right?
Yeah. But I noticed when the two dragons were actually fighting, neither fucking rider needed to give any instructions.
Well, what do you think about the Night King falling off the dragon? I thought he was a
He
superior rider.
He jumped.
Did he jump?
Yeah, the dragon had served its purpose.
Fucking just back to the trench for a moment. Like another Ryan Johnson fucking battle tactic here. One fucking trench. Like, doesn't he realize that trenches work in systems? You have your forward trench, and then you have supply trenches and fucking rear guard trenches and shit like that. Why not have a dozen bloody trenches and then light the fuckers on fire as these bastards are getting through them? You take out a hell of a lot more people that way.
Okay.
and Mad Dodge, this is the reason I wanted you to watch Arch Warhammer's Battle of Siege of Rax, because yes, you have your frontline trenches, then you have your secondary trench where it's your more fortified defensive positions, and then you would have, say, your castle wall. And so the first trench, you would light that on fire. Let's see how many of the undead can get through that. And then if they get through that, then you have your secondary trench. You have your Unsullied to try to hold that position. And
Yep.
if that position fails, then you can at least fall back and you get back in the castle walls. You have the dragon glass on the castle walls. And then worst case scenario, just light the entire castle walls on fire and let's see how long it takes them to climb it. But no, they didn't do any of that. They had plenty of time to do it, but they didn't. It's just dumb. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, I
I
got
know
you. Let's go to the little bear. Okay, gotta give it to her. She tried, but are you fucking stupid, little girl? That's a giant, an undead giant. Are you fucking retarded?
Yeah.
Why have they only got one Hulkbuster fucking zombie? Why not fucking a dozen of the cunts?
Oh yeah, didn't they show us that they had at least 4 or 5 undead giants at the end of the last season? Like where were
Yeah.
those?
Well, that
Yeah.
CGI went into Ghost standing there by the line and then never killing anything at all. By the way, that's a beef of mine. We'll get to that at the end.
Yeah, there's so many things that this episode is just failed. Like it could have been so good. And I'm not going to say it's the worst thing I've ever seen, but the expectations were high and you fucked it up.
And then
That little bit annoys the fuck out of me. Anyway, I mean, yeah, she's the leader. She's the heir to the leadership of her house. But even so, at that age, in that kind of setting, there would be like
yeah, then this like fucking giant thing. He's running around
until she was old enough. Sorry to jump.
The fucking giant thing's running around fucking just splatting every cunt, yet he just thinks, oh, I'll pick up the little girl and bite her head off. Why don't I just pop her like a fucking grape?
Yep.
Nah, you have to put it near your head so she can fucking stab the cunt in the eye.
That didn't make any
so
sense at all. Yep.
We've been shitting on the episode for a while. Let's give them some credit. That scene where you actually do get above the winter storm and you just see the moon and the dragons, that was a beautiful scene. I will give them credit on that one.
I wanted to get into the dragon. I wanted to get into the dragon fighting scenes because I'm wondering if John's dragon is still alive. That's a real curiosity to me, and I
You
hope
just fancy the dragon. Tell the truth. You're a dragon fanboy.
No, I did think that was reminiscent of the Dance of Dragons from the history of Westeros or whatnot. So I did think it was interesting. And John's dragon, if you notice, he didn't fall dead. He kind of landed, running and let John off. I think he's just injured. I think he's all right.
Yeah, that's possible.
And also notice how the second that the Night King fell off of undead Viserion kind of just went berserk mode.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that dragon was more fucking use than the other two. No, but Jon Snow's dragon, here's a prediction for you. Last episode, it comes to the bit where fucking the good guys are about to fucking get fucked up by the bad guys, and out of the fucking clouds, here comes that fucking dragon, all well and good, and he's going to come and save the day.
And he's wearing armor and carrying bombs.
Yeah, he was slashed up pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, and that was Dany's dragon, not John's dragon. We have no idea what the hell happened to Rhaegal.
Oh, well, that one, I don't fucking know. Like I said, this is the first episode I've seen.
Well, no, yeah, we don't know what happened to Rhaegal after that whole little spat with them in the air. So Lord knows what Rhaegal is doing. But again, this episode just felt really mishandled.
Yeah.
Probably
Well,
'cause it was.
What was that?
I said it's probably because it was.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair point. Yeah, it was.
all right. Well, the next person to die was I couldn't remember his name, so I'm gonna call him the man with the eye patch that can be resurrected.
Oh, Beric Dondarrion.
Yeah, Beric.
Yes, Chad, I got the name right this time.
No,
Beric Dondarrion.
I don't think he's coming back. Seeing as Melisandre's like a pile of dust now.
Well, I like it how his cunts can take so much fucking punishment in this. Like when that cunt with the eye patch died, he got stabbed like 7 or 8 fucking dozen times, and then he still ran to the end of the corridor and made it out the bloody door.
Well, what about Jory? I mean, he how many mortal wounds did he take? And he's still standing there fighting.
But then again, Captain Phasma right at the beginning gets stacked on by about 200 fucking zombie cunts, and then she just materializes inside the door.
Yeah, whatever though. You want to talk about how many hits somebody can take and still fight? We got Jacob in the chat fanboying Lord of the Rings. Yeah, dude. How many hits did motherfucking Sean Bean take in that fucking movie before he fell to the orcs? So don't fuck with me on how many hits you can take before you die.
and Mech over here, the plot armor tougher than Valyrian steel.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Ugh.
I've got the perfect ending for the entire show. It's a silly ending as well. Tyrion challenges Cersei to trial by combat
That'd be funny.
without champions.
You know what? I would
on.
actually give this show a pass if I can see Tyrion and
He doesn't
Cersei
just do
fight.
that. He doesn't just do that. He pulls a Yoda on her.
Oh, God.
I don't think we talked about it off air, but I don't think we talked about it when we were on air. Should we talk about the crypt scene?
Yeah.
In a sec.
Well,
In a sec.
Did,
What do you
did we
mean by
finish? Did we finish on the little bear though? Because her scene of how she died was reminiscent of how fucking what's his name died from Dorne, right? Where his head got squished. She got squished in the chest and just popped like a pimple that way.
I couldn't take her seriously. She was a stupid character because a child that young would not be allowed into combat. I don't care what rank she has.
Yeah, but what do you mean by getting yoded? Like, the fucking, does that mean it dies, comes back as a ghost, and then fucking lightnings the shit out of it?
No, Yoda, like when he was fighting Count Dooku, you know, all the spinning and jumping.
Oh, when Yoda was actually good. Okay.
Well, actually, I thought it was stupid, like, but it looked good if Tyrion was doing it.
Well, that's kind of like Jon Snow, where the Night King. I mean, this is fast forwarding a little bit, obviously, but he raises the dead all around Jon Snow, right? And Jon's just looking around. Well, at that point, if this was The Walking Dead, Jon would have been dead. Like, you're done, dude. I don't give a fuck how cool you are with your sword. You're dead.
Shouldn't he have just started spinning in a circle with it? Like Bugs Bunny.
I was honestly expecting, you know, when Arya was getting chased through the corridors by the whites, and they could hear her screaming and fighting up in the crypt. I was honestly expecting them to open the crypt door and all these fucking whites be dead, and Arya's standing there just like in fucking the scene that killed Serenity.
No, bloody, that's what also shat me too, is that, like, fucking, you got all these people, especially the ones on the parapets who couldn't play whack-a-mole. One cunt gets over, and then all of a sudden the bloody defenses fall. Jon Snow gets surrounded, but he's fighting on, not a problem, like, fucking, yeah.
Oh, the wall! The wall's broken! Oh, fuck.
Well, no, and talking about the crypt, so, I called it. I think we all did, to be honest. The dead rose from the
it
crypt.
was stupidly obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, these people should have actually seen that, really speaking.
Yeah, that's the thing. They didn't do anything with it. You know, if they were smart, they should have had episode 1 and episode 2 condensed into the first episode. This should have been the second episode, and then they should have expanded on what happened in this episode and made it 2 and 3.
You know what I would have done
But
if I was the
They
Night King?
didn't do it.
You know what I would have done if I was the Night King? You've got your other White Walkers there, right? Some of them are commanding the troops, right? The other ones are reanimating every dead soldier. So that as one man falls, he gets up again, and you've got to deal with him. And I would have been doing the same with the crypts as well.
Well, again, if anybody disagrees with me, please disagree with me. But this entire episode, there was a lot that happened, and it was so fast paced. It didn't feel good. Like, it was just like, okay, hey guys, here's this. Oh, by the way, here's the ending. Have fun. Like,
Okay,
what?
well, let's slow it down a little bit. Okay, so the giant breaks through the gate and comes and kills the bear. After that, though, John does survive and make it back in there. And as he's moving through, he sees all his friends being attacked, and he doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And then you have this Skyrim Helgen moment where the dragon lands on the wall and is shooting flames everywhere. I'm like, holy shit. I restarted my Skyrim game recently, so I'm like, I've seen this before. What the hell?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the thing that got me was Arya. How the hell did Arya get to that fucking to the Night King? Because you saw John is a bigger and much more powerful fighter than her, right? And he had trouble getting through just the fucking whites. Then
Well, I
you've
don't
got-
think she doesn't need to fight. She just needs to be she just needs to be slippery. You know, I mean, she snuck her way through the library. I mean, not very good at, towards the
Yeah.
latter part. But I mean, she's
strongly
skilled
implies-
when it comes to stealth.
Yeah, but like you said, she didn't get through. Yeah, she nearly got caught more than once, which implies she couldn't have gotten through all those fucking whites.
Yeah, Dodge, you reckon you've seen the dragon scene on the wall and shit from Skyrim? Yeah, you've seen the crypt scene and all that kind of shit too. It's from fucking the Reavers from Serenity.
Yeah, no, and I'm just wondering, like, because they repeated it, right? He would kill, 2-3 whites. All right, hide behind this thing, bam, dragon flame. Kill 2 or 3 whites, hide behind this thing, bam, dragon flame. And they repeated it, like rinse and repeat, like 3 or 4 times. Did they just do this to fluff the episode? Is that what's going on?
No, I think they showed that to just show that it is taking time to just move anywhere, and anytime he tries to move, he's almost getting killed. It's like in a video game. You don't just walk up and kill the thing or walk past it. You gotta do shit.
Yeah, I'll give it one Leona credit. Yeah, that's what I'd say was happening too.
And also, I think that part with Undead Viserion, they were trying to show, like, once the Night King was not riding Undead Viserion, he's basically just berserker mode. There's nothing controlling him. He's just going nuts.
Gotta admit, I do like the touch of the undead dragon with the blue freezing fire.
Oh no, and I'm looking at the chat and McLeish. I don't know. I probably said that wrong. I say all names wrong. My apologies. But
Even his own.
Mad Dodge Productions, John, hand me the controller. Yeah, pretty much, dude. Like, dude, come on. This is.
But I
easy.
still reckon with Arya getting to the Night King, it would have only taken one white to spot her. Then they would have swarmed her. And let's face it, as skillful as she is, she would have been spotted by one at the very least.
Well, before we get to her though, because that's the end. Who is still alive once the walls are breached? Who are we talking about? So many people
varies.
died 3 times. I don't even know.
Yeah, it varies. Oh, I got better.
Well, I mean,
Oh, I know why people were dying more than once, because Melisandre was running around like a blue-ass fly. You're alive, you're alive, you're alive.
No, 40. If you have a real answer, please, because we have 20-something people watching, and that was a real question.
Is 12
Well,
still alive?
sorry.
Tormund, the wildling, is he still alive?
Oh, as far as I can tell, yeah, he's still alive. I just have a list of people who I saw died. Because I figured that they'd be killing so many people off, they'd make it overt who was dead. But after Eye Patch Man, the next person to die is Theon.
Yes, Theon Gearboy.
Yes.
Uh,
So here's something. There's two things that really tick me off about Theon's death, right? The fact that not only did he technically die needlessly if Arya was on her way and about to jump the Night King, but the fucking effects, right? They did the ye old effects of like, oh, you stabbed me, and they put the stick on like, and he holds it to his side with his arm. Like, why do you not have better special effects than this? You've animated dragons and shit. You can't like come up with some better fucking effects.
Well,
he
that's. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, he just holds the stick to his body with his arm. Like, man, why?
Well, and this is one of my biggest gripes about this episode. Like, yes, it was entertaining, and I've said this about Avengers Endgame as well. But my biggest gripe about this episode is, yes, it was entertaining as all hell to watch, but you don't know who dies. Like, it's so convoluted. It's just jumping all over the place. It's not consistent.
Like this conversation.
Pretty much. And so you don't really know what's going on. It's just like, hey guys, it's going to be fucking crazy. And yeah, it was fucking crazy. But we're sitting here trying to theorize about who the hell's still alive.
Story-wise, I think it would have been a lot better if Arya hadn't gotten the Night King but killed one of the White Walkers. Throughout the rest of the season, the other Night Walkers get killed off one by one until he left with the Night King. That would have worked out a lot better.
Oh yeah, and the fact that you brought that
victory,
the fact that you brought that up at the end of the last episode, we see this line of White Walkers just line up.
Mm-hmm.
That they didn't even really touch on that. Like, it was just like, it's like they didn't even really think about it. Like, we don't see a distinctive attack. We don't see anything against Winterfell. It was just, utter chaos, which yes is entertaining, but where are the White Walkers in this episode?
I'm going to be fair to the screenwriters here. We honestly don't know how much they're being pressured to get the show over and done with. Yeah, because maybe
no, I gotta stop you right there. It's the exact opposite. HBO wanted 2 more seasons. They are wrapping it up. They want to move on.
Yeah, because they've run out of storylines and they didn't want to do what Lost did and fucking have one last series that's going to fucking ruin everything else. It's like I said when they did the preview, it's sort of like, oh, we're going to have another war with this other fucking kingdom. I was like, hey, no, how can you fucking do that? It's like the end of bloody Last Jedi where there's only 7 people left on the fucking Millennium Falcon. Like, there's only 70 years left. How are you going to fight a fucking war?
Okay, well, anyway.
Mad Dodge, can I just ask, is anybody else irritated that with the end of episode 2, you see this line of White Walkers just line up like, yep, we're about to lay siege to Winterfell. Yeah. And then they don't really do anything with it. It's like, I don't see Arya fight a White Walker. I don't see Gendry fight a White Walker. Like, I don't see any of these one-on-one battles. It's like, no, we just see a bunch of Dothraki rush into the lines and then their flaming swords go dark.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't get to see any of the White Walkers actually participate in combat. They were literally there. It was like a military parade. It's a show of force. Like, they're here, but they're not gonna fucking do anything.
They're gonna die stupidly.
Just real quick, in the chat, Kieran McLeish asks, what the fuck was Sam doing? Who the fuck was Sam?
Sam was a fat guy, and he was just
shitting his pants the whole fucking time. He almost getting killed, but getting saved, and being a useless fuck. That's what Sam was doing.
Actually, all the way.
In the opening, he's shaking when they hand him the weapons, and they're like, "Hey, just go," and he's like physically shaking.
Like Farty, you don't know because you haven't really watched the show. All the way through since his introduction, he's been very useful and one of the linchpins.
Well, why has he been a fat bag of shit in this episode?
Because he's not a fighter.
Pansy.
Yeah, he's always kind of been like the person that consider him like military intelligence, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like he's like, hey guys, we need to do this. You should
also-
listen to me. I'm not the fighter, but I know what I'm talking about.
At one
He's
part of
also
that,
the-
when he was laying down on like a whole body of dead people, or a whole bunch of dead people, didn't it look like he was almost laughing? Like he went crazy?
yeah,
Damn,
Farty-
I didn't even think about
I
that.
couldn't tell if he was crying or if he was laughing. It just looked like his mind broke for a minute.
Probably did. Farty,
Yeah.
he's also the first person ever to kill a White Walker.
Okay, good for him. No, that reminds me of the scene from the movie Cliffhanger. Is like when bloody Sylvester Stallone lets go of that fucking person out of the helicopter at the beginning, and you see him go no, but you see the loadmaster on the helicopter. He's pissing himself laughing in the background. He's just like no shit, just just sort of bring it up.
Okay, well, let's not digress too much here. All right, so,
Let's talk about the dragons.
all right, you want to talk about the dragons? Go ahead.
I do indeed want to talk about the dragons. So I like the scene when they're above the winter cloud, so to speak, and you get that nice scene with the moon and everything. You see the dragons, and they're like, "Oh, hey, look, what the hell's going on?" Because you can't fight when there's this gigantic winter storm going on. Visibility is crap. That was nice, but I mean, how many minutes of actual dragon on dragon fighting did we actually get?
Like one.
Not enough.
Definitely not enough.
In the chat, Race Jacobson.
Race Jacobson.
Yeah, that one. That meme about Dr. Frankenfurter sitting on the Iron Throne is more likely now given tonight's episode.
Why did I know you're talking about the dragons, but it popped in my head. Why did Melisandre die at the end? Is it because the war is over, and that's all she was there for?
Her usefulness is done to whatever is her patron.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was the
Yeah, right.
necklace. Yeah, it was her patron that was keeping her alive for,
Yeah.
hundreds of years or whatever the case was. When she took her necklace off, that's why she, disintegrated into ash.
And that they should have done that. They should have let kill her. Satisfying death for her because she deserved to be killed, not die.
And I'm calling ass pull on that one as well, because really, that's how Melisandre dies. Like, she just shows up and then doesn't really do anything, and then just takes off her glamour necklace, and
I
then
think it
just
was more than just a glamour necklace. I think it actually did make her young.
well, no, and that's the thing within the books. Like, that whole ruby necklace she has, like, that's what keeps her alive. So when she takes it off and just chucks it,
Yeah.
she just poof.
That's
It's
why
like,
I'm
really?
saying it.
That's
why I'm saying
how
it's
you're
not-
going to kill that character off.
That's why I'm saying it's not a glamour, because a glamour is just an illusion.
Yeah, but again, that's just so lazy.
Yeah,
That's what irritates me about everything involving this episode. Is it was just lazy.
Yep.
Yeah, no. In that respect, she didn't have to die. She just simply committed suicide. She could have kept it on and kept on going, but she said, "Oh, by the morning, I'm going to be dead," and then she goes off and kills herself. Why don't she just fucking walk out in front of all the enemy and just go, "Here, come here, bitches," and then fucking discount Scarlet Witch them all into flames and shit like that. Go out in a blaze of glory. No.
Possibly.
I would have been happy if Sir Davos just whacked her in the back of the head with one of those frickin'
That's what should have happened.
obsidian axes and just whack.
That's what should have happened.
Yeah, it's just lazy. Like, there's no significance to the plot line. It doesn't invoke any kind of emotional response. It's just like, oh yeah, she served her purpose. Yeah, she's dead.
Oh
Like-
God! I've just
like-
had another silly yet horrible thought. What happens if Cersei ends up in another incestuous relationship, but this time with Tyrion?
Ugh.
Yeah, oh God.
Let's get whatever your joke, haha. Let's get to Tyrion and Sansa though. I want to talk about that. Are they going to hook back up?
God, I hope not. I want Sansa to die. As quickly as possible.
Me too.
Yeah, I kind of want that as well.
I hate that stupid bitch.
I don't care what you guys want. She's like the Deanna Troy of Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
But the
she
thing
was useless as well.
Was that the stupid
The
fucking
thing is,
bimbo at the beginning that didn't know how to use a knife?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Redhead.
hey, I'm talking. Anyway,
We don't care.
God damn it.
Good for you.
I do. It's my channel.
Yeah, but,
here's the thing. Okay.
Real quick. Sorry, I just wanted to.
Really? Here's the thing, though, because they're hiding from the whites, right, in the crypts, and then he kisses her hand, and she gives him that fucking look, and now Theon's dead, so because she gave him the googly-eyed look in that last episode.
Yeah.
I kind of, like maybe they're going to not be annulled anymore. They are technically
She
married,
gives
right?
people googly eyes if she thinks that they're going to rescue her.
Yeah, no, she gave me the impression she likes her some midget fist.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I
But I'm the Dodge. I thought he needed to say something.
feel
40 ounce. Like, if you could actually stay on topic and not just make stupid jokes, what do you think there? Was there something there, or not?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, weirder relationships have been formed in
I
this
don't-
series, so
I don't-
it's
It would. I mean, Tyrion is now a better person, and he's always looked upon her as nothing more than a girl. I think there's definitely a friendship there, but I don't think it'll go any more than that.
Yeah, but they're technically married still. That is a thing.
So there's lots of people technically married and they never get it together.
My last ex was technically married, but didn't stop her.
All right, so now we'll go ahead and get to the Arya. All right, out of nowhere, here's Wolverine. Rah! He catches her like a rag doll, right? Catches her like a rag doll, and then she slips out the dagger and nails him. That was cool, but it was a fucking cop out. And Jesse, I'm gonna throw it to you first, and then Doku. So Batman, shut the fuck up for a minute.
No.
Doku's gonna rant on this, but I want Jesse to actually be able to say something. So, what do you think when you saw that scene?
Well, at first I was like, well, where is she jump? What roof is she jumping off of?
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to kill her for a second, but she did the same move as before. So, when she stabbed him, I just thought that he kind of went out like a bitch. You know what I mean? It's like, you think it would take more than that. He just stood through dragon flames.
Mhm.
Well, no, and here's the
Looks
thing,
like
though.
one
Like,
stabbed in the guts.
we
And
had
they never
talked-
explain, like, that knife should have had more importance. Like, they keep passing it around and like making it seem important, but they never say why exactly.
Well, it was important because it was the dagger that was supposed to kill Bran. But no, the thing is, though, we had
but it's
said,
much older than that. Like that thing
"Oh,
has
you're
to have
right.
more
You're
story.
absolutely right. Good point. You're absolutely right." But Doku had said, because I was like, they're just going to kill the Night King and wrap it up and then go deal with Cersei. Which, spoiler, that's what happened. But Doku had said, if that happens, he's going to be pissed. Doku, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very fucking pissed because that is one of the laziest fucking things you could possibly do. So the only way they're going to be able to rectify this and not make it just, the same kind of crap like we see from Disney when it comes to The Last Jedi or Avengers Endgame, and it's just like, oh, yep, the big bad just gets killed like that. The only way they can rectify this, you see the Night King, he has his mark on Bran. Bran's not dead. Bran becomes the new Night King, and the cycle repeats itself over again. And if that happens, okay, maybe. But the way they did it was just so... I don't know if I should call it lazy or if I should just say it's... You could see it coming from a mile away. It was just like, really? Really? That's the way you're going to do it? Like, it feels like fan fiction. It's stupid. It's just fucking stupid. Like, that's what you're gonna do. The big bad Night King, the guy who stares at Jon Snow, who resurrects entire armies of the dead, who creates frickin' White Walkers from Craster's babies, the guy who got the frickin' dragon glass shoved into his chest and then walks through literal dragon fire and then just... That's what you're gonna go with? Fuck out of here, dude. That's stupid. That is just such a piss on... the Night King isn't even intimidating at this point in time. Like, really?
Hence my reaction. Oh, fuck off!
Well, yeah, he's dead. He's dead at this point. But 40 ounce, what's your reaction?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. So when the witch and Arya were sitting in the room, and she was just like, "Oh, remember what I told you? You're bound to kill all colors of eyes: brown, green, and blue." And then Arya fucks off. Me and my girlfriend were sitting together, and we're just like, "Okay, so Arya's gonna kill the Night King, right? Because that's a pretty telling line of dialogue that." But I don't understand. Well, it's a good point. Where the fuck did she jump from in the first place? But secondly, she's a trained assassin, right? Why would she not go to better lengths that would be far easier for her to accomplish her goal, right? She could have hit him with a bow and arrow. Let's just say you want to keep the ending. There are other means of killing the Night King that are much more simpler, would make much more sense. Like, why didn't she just use an arrow? That would have done the job just as well, and it's not putting her own life at risk.
Well, but the thing, though, he walked through literal dragon fire. And she's just gonna jump out of nowhere and kill him? The Night King is supposed to be this big, intimidating character. Seeing the way he gets killed, do you think the Night King is intimidating at this point in time? I think he's a freaking joke.
Well, he's dead now.
He got killed by a midget girl. He's not intimidating at all.
Yeah, and it completely takes away any of the terror that the Night King was supposed to invoke. He's a joke at this point in time. Like, I find it laughable.
I found it, I've said before, it was definitely a fucking woke ending. But also going by what I understand of Game of Thrones, it's left that world in imbalance because Bran is the three-eyed raven, which is the equal and opposite of the Night King, right? And the three-eyed raven's still there, but the Night King's not there. Nature, and especially magic, abhors imbalance.
Well, and if you want to get into that area, here's another weird thing. Did you notice when the dawn came, it was bright and like as in summer is back already? Winter lasted, what, 6 months or something in a world where it lasts years?
Well,
That's
remember Mad Dodge, I said if you started to see a little tinge of blue in Bran's eyes the second the Night King got killed, I would have given that a pass.
I wouldn't have put the tinge of blue in Bran's eyes. I would have put it in Arya's eyes.
Well, Arya, Bran, whatever, but they didn't do that.
That would have worked.
They literally made the Night King a joke with the way he got taken out.
They could rescue it here because they could do it later, but that would work out best. The Night King allows Arya to kill him because he's going to take her.
But it doesn't seem like he did.
Yeah, I know.
The way they did it, it was just a joke. The Night King is laughable at this point. There's nothing intimidating about him.
I agree with you.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is the Night King is the ultimate big baddie. So it's just like relative to Cersei, what threat does she even fucking pose? You know, send a few chickens out with knives in their mouth, and they'll fucking take her army on at this point. You know.
No, you just have to send Arya down there. She'll take them all on and win.
Well, and here's the thing, though. We kind of talked about the whole episode. We jumped around a lot, but let's get into the portion where we rank it, and then we'll talk about where we think it's gonna go. I give it a 5.5, and that's because of the high expectations I had, and it didn't meet them. So that's the lowest so far this season. I'm giving it a 5.5. What about we'll go to Batman and then Jesse, Farty, Doku, and 40.
I'll give it a 5. I'm being generous. I'll give it a 5.
Any reason? I'm saying because I expected more is what
it was dissatisfying. A number of the deaths in it were dissatisfying, made no sense, and were just fucking stupid. And you could read what was going to happen all the way through it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, behind you, the door comes open.
Let's face it, previous episodes, even the poor ones, you've been surprised by what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, and Jesse, what do you think? You have a better view on it than we do, or are you right there in our camp?
Well, I thought it was a lot of action, but it was a little too tight in with some of it. Then, they would only show big, vague overviewing shots. So I thought it should have had like more of a medium mix with the cinematography. But yeah, as far as plot point goes, it seems like having her kill the Night King like that quickly and easily was a little rushed. I'll put it nicely. I'm not sure how they're going to, fill up the rest of the show now without him, and still have that same interest. It just seems like it was a quick ending to something with such a big build. So I don't know, 6.
Honestly, I think this battle should have been the fight. Yeah, it should have been the end of the show.
Yeah, it should have been. You're right. But 6. Okay, so right around where we are, Farty, you've never seen Game of Thrones. Your first exposure to it. What do you think? What's your rating?
Well, out of all the episodes that I've seen, I'd say this would have to be the worst fucking episode I've ever fucking seen. I'd rate it out of it's a fucking shit out of 10.
Yep, he's an Aussie.
Okay, fair enough. Doku, where are you at? I'm at 5.5. The high mark here is Jesse with a 6.
4.
Ooh.
It's better than a shit.
It's a 4.
Any reasons?
Yeah. It was completely rushed. It completely circumvented everything that was already built up. The action, despite being good, was completely rushed. You don't know who's dead. You don't know who's alive. Yeah, okay, it's fun to watch. The cinematography was good and everything, but as far as the storytelling, crap. There's no character development. It's just, hey guys, crazy shit's going on. Oh, by the way, here's your big bad, and then he just dies.
Yeah.
This episode doesn't do anything. It doesn't do jack fucking shit. And then the big bad dies. So what? Now we're just gonna look at Cersei. What happened to the dragons? We don't fucking know because the episode doesn't take the time to actually fucking build on it. It's garbage. It's lazy. It's crap, and it's probably one of the worst episodes Game of Thrones has ever put out. And me saying it's a 4 is fucking generous.
Wow, worse than Dorne?
Worse than Dorne, yes.
Wow. Okay, 40. Where do you put it?
I'd say it was a 6. There were a lot of shots that I really liked. Like during the initial fighting when they're charged by the undead, I really do like the fact that the cinematography is really messy and it's dirty and it's gritty, just like an actual battle would be. you're close up, lots of movement. It's really dirty and gritty. I liked that. However, like Doku was saying, there were certain parts where it's just like, didn't he die like 4 times already? Like, what the fuck happened? It really does irk me that I don't think that Theon had to die. It seems as though if he literally just stood there for an extra 5 seconds, he would have still been alive. That really does bug the hell
I
out of me.
agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, just stand there for 5 seconds and you can still live a happy life and, grow old with your fucking Sansa wife or whatever. That really did make me mad. As for the rest of the show, like, I just don't know. Cersei was not a big a threat as the Night King. She can't raise armies of the dead. She has a limited pool of resources and logistics and manpower. So what threat is she really if they just took on the Night King and literally killed him in a few hours of what seemed like combat and, siegecraft?
Mhm.
So, I mean, there were a few, like, tactical decisions that made sense in my eyes. So I congratulate them a little bit for that, but I'd have to say 5 out of 10.
Oh, and maybe I should clarify a little bit as to why I give it a 4 and not a 5. Perhaps I would give it a better rating if it wasn't hyped up to the point it was supposed to be like, this is supposed to be the greatest fucking episode. And they hyped up the Night King for how many series, or how many seasons going into this?
I've been noticing they have been maneuvering, and especially in this episode, the female characters to be in the best position when the dust settles.
Oh, and that's the thing. They hype up the Night King. They talk like, oh, this is going to be the biggest, greatest battle, and it wasn't.
I'm going to make a prediction. At the end of it, there's going to be obviously going to be a fight with Cersei's forces, but Sansa and Cersei are going to come to terms. Cersei will get the south, Sansa will get the north, Arya will be her hand.
Well, no.
And again, that's the other thing.
Real quick. This is where I do want to go into predictions. So here's my question though. Before you guys go into predictions, who is left alive, and can the North actually defeat Cersei? She has fresh troops.
Before we do, I'd like to revise my rating of this, and because as mentioned, yes, the tactics and all this kind of stuff left a lot of things to be desired and all this. And there was one scene where 2 people were, tag team fucking sword fighting up on the parapet, sort of like a certain scene from a certain movie. So I revised my rating from a shit to The Last Jedi.
Oh,
That's worse.
ouch, that's worse than my rating. Ouch.
Right.
Well, anyway, no,
Damn.
like seriously, trying to stay on track here. So yeah, can the North actually defeat Cersei at this point? The Unsullied are wiped out for most part. Dothraki, they are dead. They're gone.
Oh yeah, they definitely can because they still have 2 dragons apparently.
Is this just your wishful thinking, Dodge, that the South will rise again?
No, that's worse. Anyway, do they have 2 dragons?
Yeah, they definitely still have 2 dragons, and the Night King is dead, and we have Bran, who Lord knows what powers he has, and apparently Arya can kill the most terrifying thing that Westeros has ever seen. So yeah, I think they have a good chance.
Yeah, Arya has the power of being in the right place at the right time.
But again, that's my
Jesus,
irritation
Jesse, that was
about
one hell of a fart.
Jesus. But yeah, that is my irritation of this episode, though. Is
Oh God! I just thought.
we just hold on just real quick.
I'm holding.
So after all of this, the Night King is now dead. So Cersei is now the final big bad of the entire series.
Yeah, she's tied up. She's the epilogue buddy. But I just thought, Dodge was keep going, what the fuck is Bran warging? What the fuck is Bran warging? Maybe he wasn't warging anything, but he was interfering with the whites who were piling around him.
Actually,
Yeah.
that is
That
That
Yeah, that's a good
actually is a good question.
That would explain how
what
Arya
was
gets up to the Night King.
what was Bran
'Cause-
doing?
Bran knew,
Close. He was just
Bran-
watching over the battle to see where the Night King was.
not just that, but I mean, Bran knows what's about to happen pretty much, doesn't he? He knows where people are going to be. So maybe he was dulling the white senses so that Arya could make a play for the Night King.
Well, we know Bran and the Night King had a very quite the intimate stare.
Yeah.
Do you think they're actually really gonna go with the fan theory that Bran does become the new Night King? Do you think they're actually gonna do that?
I don't think they're that imaginative.
No,
Do you think that the Night King's going to have any relevance now?
Yeah.
yeah, the Night King is gone. Now it's back to the fight amongst the people.
Yeah.
But do you think Bran is now going to become? I
No.
mean, we know how the Night King feels about the Three-Eyed Raven, and we know the Night King
King
wants
is
to kill
dead.
Bran. And
Hey,
but
hey,
then
you're-
the
no, you're
Night
in
King.
denial. You're in denial. You need to
No. Listen to me real quick.
Dead.
Listen to me real quick, Mad Dodge. The Night King might be dead. Is his mark still on Bran?
Why does that matter if he's dead?
He's dead. All of his power's gone. Therefore, his mark will be gone.
Yeah,
If he
But have we seen that? Because if his mark isn't gone, then guess who's gonna be the new Night
no,
Yeah.
he's not Freddy Krueger. This isn't how this works.
We kind of have seen that he's dead because his dragon that he raised turned into like ice and shattered.
Yeah, but
Oh,
Bran's
speaking of
not
Ice
dead.
Dragon- wait,
Bran
speaking of
isn't
Ice-
dead.
Speaking of ice dragons, am I the only one who is upset that we didn't get dragons raising out of the crypts of Winterfell?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that wasn't
Yeah.
gonna happen anyways.
Bran's not dead because he was not raised by the Night King.
Yeah, but is his mark still on him?
But if the Night
Kill
King's
you.
power has gone, so therefore his mark has gone.
Yeah, it does not matter. It's like,
Does
were
it?
you a KGB officer? The KGB doesn't exist anymore.
Besides,
Were you KGB?
I
It
don't
doesn't-
think you're understanding where I'm going with this. If the Night King is dead, but if his mark is still on Bran, we have not seen that.
his mark,
if
his mark is produced by his power. His power has gone. Therefore,
However-
his mark has gone.
However,
But have we
usually though, when that kind of shit happens, you'll see like the scene of the mark going magically off in a fairy dust or whatever the fuck. We didn't actually see that. He has a point.
hmm
Yeah, have we seen the Night King's mark fade from Bran?
No,
Well, either way, if Bran becomes the Night King, he'll only last 5 minutes. He'll go, "Haha, I'm the new Night King," and I'll go, "No, you're not."
It doesn't. I'm not gonna go as far as to say that Bran is gonna become the new Night King, but I'm also going to say that the Night King might not necessarily be dead.
Well, like I did say that they've left the world in balance with the Three-Eyed Raven still being there and the Night King not being. I would much rather Arya become the Night King. So-
We've already seen that within the quote quote working world that crazy shit happens. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the army of the dead is gone.
Well, I
So-
did also pose this question earlier of like, okay, they've killed the big bad off halfway through this season. What are they going to do for the rest of it? You might have a point there, Doku.
What if the actual end game ends up it's the Night King sitting on the Iron Throne?
Still a
It-
better
it-
ending than what we got.
Yeah.
You never know. There could be a twist where perhaps the Night King is not necessarily dead.
Goku, you sound like an alcoholic looking for his last bottle. It's not gonna.
Dodge, don't push your problems onto other people.
Yeah, perspective a little bit.
Oh no! Think about it. If you really wanted a bittersweet ending, you get Jon and Dany. Cersei gets overthrown. Everything is fine and dandy, but if you think about the way that wording works and everything, everything like that, just because the Night King in the physical world is dead doesn't necessarily mean that the Night King is actually gone.
And Kieran Mashleesh has come up with a good one in the chat. He says, the walking thing is Bran was watching somebody shagging down south.
Yeah, you never know. Because I'm sorry, it still feels like the Night King in the physical world, he got killed too easily. So you never know.
And he didn't really seem surprised.
Yeah, that he didn't.
Well, should we make predictions for the rest of the season then?
Yeah, no, that's where I was trying to get to here. Yeah. What do you think, Cordy?
What do I think? I think Sansa rules the North. Daenerys takes the throne. Cersei's obviously gonna die.
Good
I
horse.
think Jon Snow retires to a small cabin somewhere and fucks off. Or that he might die. I don't know. But I don't know. I think Jaime dies.
Yeah, that's a good one. That I've got one for that.
Yeah, I think Jaime dies. I think Bran will be fine. I think Sam's fine as well.
I think. Sorry, didn't know if you finished or sorry.
No, that's pretty much it. I think Jaime will die. I think Tyrion will be the hand to Daenerys. It's classic shit that's already been said before, I suppose.
I think Jaime's going to die, yeah, but I think he's going to die through mortal wounds because he kills the Mountain, and he's going to be the one who he should be the one who kills Cersei. That would be perfect completion for their arc. Yeah, I think unfortunately Sansa's going to have the North, probably wreck it, and I still see Arya's going to be her hand because of power. And Dennis is going to get the Iron Throne.
Yeah, because Jon Snow never wanted to be king of the North or anything. So
Well, I think you guys are wrong.
Maybe Jon
Danny,
Snow will become her not regent. Her consort, royal consort.
what was that, Mad Dodge?
What was that?
well, I think you guys are wrong. I think Danny is still going to die in childbirth. I think Jon will sit the Iron Throne. I'm really wondering though what's going to happen with Winterfell because it looks like it's pretty fucked up.
I think T Links is wrong. I think Bran's going to retire to some desert world somewhere where he'll be terrorizing Tusken Raiders and teaching this young boy how to use his lightsaber.
Well, I think Arya will play a key role because only T Link said that. How come you never see this one coming? Shit will happen here. Shit will happen there. Shit will happen everywhere. Some shit will happen there, and shit will just happen. That's what my prediction.
Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, that you didn't really say anything there. Jesse, what's your predictions after this episode? What do you think is going to happen?
Oh, I think they're going to ride on down south after they get a little regrouping action. I think that's going to be a very small force trying to take on Cersei's armies. It's pretty much just going to be a slow wrapping up of the end of the show, really.
Yeah. Did they just throw a strike right down the middle here? We all know how this is going to end now.
Pretty much.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll give them more in-depth theory videos probably on Wednesday. We'll do a stream, right, Doku? That's when we usually do it.
Sounds good to me.
All right, guys. Anything else you guys want to add? Brienne survived. I'm surprised by that. So did Podrick. Interesting.
I thought Brienne got killed.
No, she's still alive.
There's a lot of people who got stabbed a lot that should have been like mortal wounds, and they're still like, "I'm still alive. It's okay. It's just a flesh wound."
Hey, can you imagine if one of the whites hadn't been fully under control? And he's up. He goes, "Oh, thank God I survived!" Then all the fucking White Walkers die. Oh, crap.
Well, no, and I'm going to end it right here. the look on Jon Snow's face when they all come back to life. Like you didn't know that was going to happen, you dumbass. You really do know nothing. Good night. Good luck. We're out of here, everybody. Peace.
Don't
Bum,
go
bum.